beloved chosen one. The test was not small, and that is why the pain cut so deep. You came to a place where your strength felt thin, where your prayers sounded fragile even to your own ears, where the silence around you became so heavy you wondered whether heaven had stepped back. But that silence was never abandonment. It was the proving ground. It was the place where your heart was weighed, where your loyalty was revealed, where your faith was not measured by noise, applause, or visible reward, but by what you did when nothing around you made sense. You stood in an hour that could have broken your confidence, your peace, and your identity. Yet you did not become what the pressure demanded. You did not surrender your soul just to escape the fire. There were moments when you nearly collapsed under the weight of waiting. There were nights when disappointment tried to preach a darker gospel to you, telling you that delay meant denial, telling you that exhaustion meant defeat, telling you that because the door had not opened yet, it never would. But that lie could not own you. Something deeper kept pulling you back from the edge. Even when your mind was tired, your spirit still carried a hidden yes. Even when your tears fell in secret, your obedience kept speaking before God. What looked like weakness to others was actually restraint. What looked like delay was actually refinement. What looked like you losing was really you, passing a test that many never even recognize while they are in it. The battle was never only about pain. It was about whether pain would rename you. It was about whether pressure could make you betray what God placed inside you. That is why this moment matters so much. You were pressed, but you did not let bitterness become your language. You were overlooked, but you did not let pride become your defense. You were shaken, but you did not let darkness write your final sentence. That is why heaven marks this moment differently than you do. You remember the strain, but heaven remembers the stand. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 27, verse 14. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. That word is your witness. You waited wounded, but you waited. You stood trembling, but you stood. And because you did, the trial that was meant to expose your breaking point has now revealed your spiritual endurance. Like this message, share it with someone carrying silent battles. Subscribe if this speaks to your spirit, and comment 2714 below as your sign that you did not break in the place that was meant to destroy you. Heaven saw what no one else could read on your face. People may have seen you still functioning, still answering, still moving through the routines of life. But heaven saw the hidden cost of every step. It saw the discipline it took for you to stay gentle when your soul was tired. It saw the effort it took for you to keep your heart from hardening when answers did not come. It saw the moments when you smiled in public and then carried the real weight in private. This is why your battle cannot be measured by appearances. The deepest warfare often happens in silence, in the unseen chambers of the heart, where no crowd applauds and no earthly witness understands the full intensity of what you are enduring. You are being watched in that secret place, not with condemnation, but with holy attention. Your endurance mattered. Your response mattered. The choices you made when disappointment visited your mind again and again were being counted in a realm higher than emotion. Each time you refused to let despair become your master, you gave testimony. Each time you chose restraint over reckless reaction, you gave testimony. Each time you turned down the voice that told you to become cold, cynical, or spiritually numb, you gave testimony. This was not meaningless suffering. This was a sacred examination of what remained true in you when comfort was removed. That is why the hidden tears were not wasted. They became part of your offering. They spoke of a faith that did not need a stage to be real. They revealed a love for God that did not depend on immediate relief. There is something weighty about a soul that keeps reaching upward even while carrying unanswered questions. There is something powerful about a person who continues to stand in reverence when life gives them many excuses to withdraw. You may have felt forgotten in those hours, but heaven was taking account of every silent victory. The trial also uncovered what was genuine within you. Pressure has a way of exposing whether a person is built on image or on truth. And what was revealed in you was not perfection, but persistence. Not flawless strength, but consecrated endurance. You kept showing up before God with a bruised yet willing heart. That is the kind of faith that heaven honors, because it is not borrowed from emotion. It is forged in the dark and proven in delay. The Word of God declares in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 16, "Then those who feared the Lord talked with each other, and the Lord listened and heard." A scroll of remembrance was written in His presence concerning those who feared the Lord and honored His name. So understand what this means for you now. Heaven did not overlook your hidden battle. It listened. It heard, and it remembered. There came a moment in the test when the pressure stopped being general and became personal. This was the line. This was the inner boundary that the enemy wanted you to cross. Not because the act itself was small or large by human standards, but because crossing it would have shifted something in your spirit. The temptation was not only to do the wrong thing, the deeper temptation was to agree with the lie beneath it. The lie that said your suffering gave you permission to step outside of obedience, that your exhaustion excused compromise, that your disappointment justified rebellion. That was the true battleground. And in that hour, when the weight pressed hardest, you were not merely deciding on behavior, you were deciding what voice would define you. This is why that hidden refusal matters so much. You may not have looked dramatic in that moment. There may have been no audience, no visible sign, no thunder in the sky. But within you, a holy resistance rose up. Something in your spirit answered the pressure with a firm no. You heard the warning in the depths of your being: do not trade your future for a moment of relief. Do not hand over your clarity just because the night feels long. Do not let pain choose your path. And even if your hands trembled, even if your emotions were unstable, even if part of you wanted immediate escape, you still refused to cross that line. That decision carried more spiritual weight than you know. Many people think the greatest victories happen in public, but some of the most powerful triumphs take place in secret choices. A destiny is often protected not only by the doors you walk through, but by the boundaries you refuse to violate. Your refusal was not weakness, it was warfare. Your restraint was not passivity, it was authority under pressure. You did not say yes to the shortcut. You did not kneel to the voice that demanded urgency without wisdom. You did not let desperation become your master. And because you held the line, what was trying to claim legal access to your peace was denied entry, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 4, verse 8, "Worship the Lord your God and serve him only." That word cuts through the fog. It reminds you that every test eventually reveals allegiance. In the hardest moment, your soul was being asked who it truly belonged to, and your answer, even through tears, was still God. That is why the line held. That is why heaven took notice. That is why what tried to pull you downward did not ultimately own you. Comments still aligned if this message confirms that your refusal to compromise was not overlooked, but recorded as part of your victory before heaven. Now the atmosphere begins to change around you, because endurance always creates a shift in the unseen realm. What you carried alone for so long is no longer only a private burden. It becomes the very evidence that your season is turning. You are not standing in the same spiritual position you occupied when this trial began. Back then, you were proving whether you would remain faithful under pressure. Now, because you remained, heaven responds differently. What once tested you now starts to release you. What once surrounded you with resistance begins to lose its power. The battle is not ending because the struggle was imaginary. The battle is changing because your obedience established authority. This is the mystery many do not understand. Passing the test does not always mean immediate comfort, but it does mean a new backing in the spirit. There is help being arranged that you cannot yet fully see. There are delays being untied, conversations being redirected, burdens being lifted in ways too precise to be called coincidence. Heaven is not scrambling on your behalf as though it only just noticed your pain. It is moving in order, with intention, with timing that fits the weight of your calling. Because you did not abandon your post in the dark, you are now being strengthened for the next gate that must open. You may already sense it. The fear that once rushed in so easily does not hold the same authority. The confusion that tried to cloud your judgment is starting to break apart. The heaviness that sat over your spirit like a stone is loosening its grip. This is not because you manufactured your own rescue. It is because divine support has stepped closer. You endured long enough to see the difference between a season of testing and a season of reinforcement. And once heaven reinforces what it has chosen, opposition must recalculate. The apostle reminds us in the letter to the Romans 1 chapter 8, verse 31. If God is for us, who can be against us? Receive that deeply. This is not a decorative promise. It is a line of spiritual reality. When heaven stands with you, resistance may still speak, but it cannot speak the final word. And as this message continues to reach those who are also walking through a turning point, some of you may feel led to support that flow in a tangible way, helping this word travel farther to strengthen another weary soul who is standing where you once stood. That, too, becomes part of the victory. Because once you have been upheld, you begin helping hold others up as well. Now you understand that this victory is not only about survival, it is about commission. You were not preserved merely so you could say you made it through. You were preserved because your life carries an assignment that required endurance before release. The fire did not introduce your calling, it uncovered it. The pressure did not cancel your purpose. It clarified it. What once felt like a season of being reduced was actually a season of being marked. Heaven was teaching your hands how to hold weight, your spirit how to discern voices, and your heart how to remain steady when the path ahead demanded more than emotion could carry. You are not stepping out of this test empty-handed. You are stepping out carrying proof. That proof is not always visible in the way people expect. It is not necessarily applause, position, or sudden recognition. Sometimes the clearest sign that you have been crowned by endurance is the authority now resting in your spirit. You do not panic the same way. You do not bow as quickly. You do not mistake delay for abandonment as easily as before. There is a settled depth in you now, a kind of inner gravity that only comes from surviving what was meant to scatter you. You have learned that peace can stand inside pressure. You have learned that obedience can breathe even in confusion. You have learned that being chosen is not a decoration. It is a responsibility wrapped in grace. This is why your next steps matter. You cannot return to seeing yourself as fragile just because you remember how hard the battle was. You must see yourself as heaven now sees you, refined, marked, and sent forward. There are people who will recognize God's strength in your voice because of what you endured quietly. There are doors that will open because your character can now carry what your old self could not. There are assignments waiting for the version of you that came through the test without surrendering your soul. This is the hour to walk like someone who knows that divine covering has not left your life. It has deepened over it. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs in chapter 3, verse 6. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. So move forward with holy confidence. Heaven has not only defended you, it has directed you. Heaven has not only kept you, it has marked you for what comes next. Comment 316 below as your sign that you are stepping forward under divine direction, no longer defined by the test, but by the God who brought you through it. And now, beloved, do not let this word drift away like a feather over deep water. Let it find a resting place in your spirit. If this message has been a lantern beside your storm, then light this message as one would place a small flame in the window, a quiet sign that light still lives here. Share it the way a traveler tears bread in the wilderness, making sure no hungry soul walks on empty. Comment below like planting a memorial stone in sacred ground, a witness that heaven met you here. Subscribe as a bird returns to the same branch where it first found shelter after the rain. And if your heart is moved to give, let it be like pouring oil into a lamp so its glow reaches farther into someone else's night. What is offered freely becomes fragrance, and fragrance always rises.